I've reviewed a bunch of Wi-Fi routers over the years, but one that sticks out is the video I did 4.5 years ago on the Netgear Orbi Wi-Fi mesh system. I was so impressed with it that I called it the best Wi-Fi I'd ever had in my home. It really was that good. That was 2016. Fast forward to today and Wi-Fi is on a whole different landscape. We've seen the recent release of Wi-Fi 6, and now we're seeing the upcoming Wi-Fi 6E taking shape. Now that Wi-Fi 6 devices are more widely available and in use, Netgear has a new version, a Wi-Fi 6 mesh router system that they sent over for me to check out. Big shout out to them for doing so. Now, if you're a techie, then you're probably familiar with Netgear routers like the iconic Nighthawk series. Orbi is something different. Rather than a single router, the Orbi comes in a package of either 2, 3, or 4 units, which Netgear says will work in unison to eliminate Wi-Fi dead spots inside the home. One is the main router and the others are satellites which extend and expand your Wi-Fi coverage without a degradation in speed. If you're interested in the Netgear Orbi Wi-Fi 6 system at any point and want to check it out for yourself, I will have a link down in the description below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all future videos. So let's talk about the design of the Wi-Fi 6 model. Like the original Orbi, the Wi-Fi 6 gear is big, continuing with the tall, unique oval look. They stand about 10 inches tall, which is a lot bigger than competing routers. They're easy to put on a shelf or desk, and Netgear even sells a wall mounting bracket if that's more your thing. The units have a single LED band near the bottom, serving as a status indicator. When the device is starting up, it blinks white and then turns blue when data is flowing back and forth. When the light is purple, there's something wrong and it requires attention to fix. Inside each unit are 8 smart antennas. Using the Qualcomm Networking Pro 1200 chip, the router and satellites support 4x4 streams of data. Using the latest MU-MIMO technology to support lots of connections and beamforming to tailor the signal to each device's needs, the system is capable of transferring a theoretical 6 gigabits of data back and forth. Now, my favorite physical feature of the Wi-Fi 6 Orbi units has to be the 2.5 gigabit per second WAN input port for use with the newest modems. Here in my home, I have 10 gigabit internet speeds, and almost every router that I test has a 1 gigabit WAN port. This means that my wired network supports 10 gigs, but my Wi-Fi only supports 1 gig. Using the Orbi Wi-Fi 6, my Wi-Fi network can now tap into 2.5 gigabits of speed, making it 2.5 times faster. In addition to that WAN port, the units also have 4 1 gigabit LAN ports for connecting things like a printer and network attached storage. If you're wondering, there is no USB port. Aside from the great features of the Orbi Wi-Fi 6, you may be wondering, what is Wi-Fi 6 and how is it different from my current router? So let's talk about the benefits. First, Wi-Fi 6 is significantly faster than the previous generation of Wi-Fi. The inclusion of Wi-Fi 6 in this router is going to keep things speedy fast, and you will notice a difference. Next, Wi-Fi 6 is less congested. Due to a change in how data is transmitted, Wi-Fi 6 can handle more simultaneous connections more efficiently, meaning it can handle more devices easily without choking. Finally, Wi-Fi 6 can improve your battery life. As long as you're using a Wi-Fi 6 compatible device, you'll see improved battery life when connected to a Wi-Fi 6 connection. Since data is transmitted faster and further, your device doesn't have to work as hard to maintain a connection, and that means the battery life will be better. Now, with that out of the way, let's talk about the performance of the Netgear Orbi Wi-Fi 6. For some background, I live in a 5,500 square foot, 5-bedroom home with 2 stories plus a finished basement, an outdoor deck, and an acre of land. So all that to say, this is an environment that is tough for a single router to blanket in fast Wi-Fi, and even some mesh systems have had trouble. I went for the 3-unit system with Orbi Wi-Fi 6, which is supposed to be able to cover about 7,500 square feet. The 2-unit version is good for up to 5,000 square feet, and there's even a 4-unit version that can cover 10,000 square feet. Aside from the house, I wanted to be able to cover the area in the backyard, as well as get Wi-Fi to the Tesla Model 3 and Model Y sitting in the driveway and Tesla Powerwalls in the garage. I'm happy to say that the 3-unit Wi-Fi 6 Orbi did the trick. I now get a very good connection no matter where I am in the house, as well as when I'm hanging out outside. We run 2 businesses out of this home and do a lot of video streaming and gaming, as well as uploading huge 4K video files like this one on the regular. Now, part of what makes it so good is that these are tri-band units with a dedicated 5 gigahertz backhaul. This lets the system move data around between the router and satellites in a much more efficient manner and without any interference, which means faster data connections at a distance, even when connected to a satellite. And even if you don't have any Wi-Fi 6 devices capable of taking full advantage of all the features of the new protocol, the fact that the router and satellites can talk to each other over a Wi-Fi 6 connection means better speeds for all devices. With its Wi-Fi 6 functionality, extended range, and useful app, the Netgear Orbi Wi-Fi 6 system is a solid option for a next-gen router for your home. If you're looking for the easiest and fastest mesh networking kit that you can pick up today, the Netgear Orbi Wi-Fi 6 is the one. It has excellent performance, even in larger homes with lots of walls, and its tri-band design with a dedicated backhaul data channel continues to be the best mesh approach out there, and it delivers on the promise of Wi-Fi 6, even though each device is huge, and you might need a third one depending on the size of your home. I should also mention that Netgear only includes 90 days of support after purchase, which definitely feels low to me. You can pick up the Orbi Wi-Fi 6 system now. I will leave a link down in the description below in case you want to do so. As I mentioned, it's available in 2-unit, 3-unit, and 4-unit configurations. Let me know what you think of the Netgear Orbi Wi-Fi 6 system. Does it sound like something you can use in your home? Sound off in the comments below and I will meet you there for further discussion. Thanks for watching as always, guys. I appreciate your support. I'm Andrew Edwards and I will catch you in the next video.